Hello, I'm ΠΜΣ Papadopoulou. I am a student at the Journalism and Mass Communications Department in Aristot University of Thessaloniki. Today I'm here with Harry and Hannah. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Hannah. I'm originally from Belgium. I'm doing the Masters in Risk Communication and Crisis Journalism at Aristotle.
And I'm Harry, and I'm an Irish student doing the same Masters programme. And happy to be here.
Okay, we should start with the questions now, if you guys are okay with it. First question, how was the transition for you? Did you face any difficulties in relocating in Thessaloniki, getting familiar with the city's everyday life?
We're both students from the EU, so that has the plus point that we didn't need visas to come here. It was more a matter of picking up everything, just packing and coming here, and then finding a room here. All of that.
Similar story, and aside from the kind of cultural differences and everything like that, like any new challenge, it takes a while to settle in and get familiar with the city. But once we met our classmates the week before classes started in the end of September, it made it a lot easier. But we were lucky that we're residents of the EU, but moving anywhere is challenging, and especially leaving I think is always harder than moving. That's the way I understand it to be anyway.
Okay, so now you are sort of citizens of Thessaloniki in Greece, so did you find any difficulties in adapting the environment according to the language, or maybe the Greek eating process? Because I know you guys eat much earlier than we do, dinner perhaps.
Yes, but those kind of cultural shifts were kind of all part of leaving your home place and coming somewhere new. So I think we did our best to embrace as many of them as possible. There was definitely challenges at the start in terms of a lot of unknowns about what the course would look like, and you have those natural hesitations around what the new year is going to bring, and if you're going to settle into a new place like anywhere else. But the people that I've come across in the city have been very kind to us, and if we've needed help, there's a lot of Greek students in our course as well, and they've been very helpful.
We live here a little bit in a very international environment. Most of our friends are internationals too, and we have some Greek friends, which makes also the adapting to a culture much easier, because you're surrounded by people that are going through the same thing, which is very nice. Personally, I was kind of used to late dinners, so that was something that I didn't really have to adapt to. And I think just there's lots in the Greek traditions and Greek culture that is so nice to experience. So it was more like a privilege to get to experience that, instead of something I really had to adapt to in a way.
Well, you both mentioned about the multicultural and multinational program that you are in. How easy or difficult was for you to create these international and multicultural relationships with the rest of the guys?
I think we both said before that we feel very lucky, because this cohort of students have seemed to be just in general very nice people, and I think it helps that everyone at the start, like we were talking about the challenges earlier, everyone has their own background, has their own worries coming into this, but in some ways we were all in a similar boat because we didn't know what to expect, and we're coming from different places and stuff like that. So I think the size of the course, sometimes our classes are quite small in nature. You know, that makes it a little bit easier, and there's a lot of discussions that we have in class as well, which I wasn't used to from my previous academic experience. And yeah, it just kind of happened naturally, but I think we got lucky. The course seems to be a good group.
The classes itself are also very focused on what is currently going on in the actuality and in the world right now, which kind of leads a lot to discussion after class. It leads to grabbing a drink after class to kind of calm down from whatever heavy topics that we've discussed during class and kind of wind down and go with maybe much nicer vibe into the night. And that kind of also makes the bonds with your classmates just more, you get close to them because you talk about important topics, but then also, of course, about personal topics at some point. And that's kind of the way it's structured, the fact that the classes are in the evening and kind of that they roll into like grabbing a drink. And the entire atmosphere of the master's program, where it's very easy because of the small size, it's very easy to reach out to professor. It's very easy to raise your hand during class and start talking because there's not much of a boundary, much less than if you're in a classroom with 500 people. So that has definitely like helped with creating those international bonds with everyone and all. Yeah.
So eventually, would you recommend to a person to just go to another country to continue their studies? Because I see you have really enjoyed being here and you enjoyed your choosing of going abroad.
I also did my bachelor's abroad, so I'm the first person to say do it. I think you don't just learn things on an academic level, but also a lot about yourself. You have to learn how to like live on your own in a culture that you don't know. It's not that easy to reach out maybe to people that you've known for forever, but also you meet people that are going through the entire same thing. I think also a lot of people that are on Erasmus will say the same thing. It's a once in a life experience, I would say, and you get very close to the people around you simply because that's the people you have.
So you would recommend it?
I would definitely recommend it.
How about you, Harry?
I would too. I'm more of a home birder. I studied in my hometown university as well, and I was working in my hometown before this, so I took a bit longer to kind of take the plunge. I was thinking about it for a year or two, whether I should or shouldn't, and at some point I think you just got to take a jump and take a chance, and I came because I liked the look of the course and I wanted that challenge. And like Hannah was saying, you know, you become closer with people you've met because you're so far outside your comfort zone, and it changes your perspective. I mean, I think if I studied journalism back home, aside from the kind of academic nuts and bolts, there's things you see when you're away that you couldn't see at home, and it's just even thinking about your home country. And when I was looking at some of the protests around the Balkans here the last few weeks, I just realised how much differently I look at things now, just from talking to people and kind of having an understanding of, the kind of intricacies of people's pain and people's frustrations with different things. So you can only read so much, but I think if you have the opportunity to go abroad and challenge yourself, I would encourage it too.
And from the experience, like the perspective of a journalism student, it's just very interesting to look at journalism from an international perspective. Because I think if you study journalism in the country that you're from, you look from the perspective as someone from that country, from like teachers and students that are all from the same country. And here it's just very nice how you kind of pull everything see everything from a new perspective. And you also hear comments from other students that react on something that maybe might be happening in your home country that I see one view of, but then other people see different views of it, and international media, what's going on there. So it's just, yeah.
So it's literally broadening your horizons.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you like to add anything else? Whatever's in your mind.
For the students who are thinking about coming next year, one of the things that I've struggled with is, and I briefly mentioned before, the world of journalism at the minute. When you read the newspapers around the world, it's not always a pretty picture, and some of the topics can be quite heavy. So I would just say to kind of give yourself time to process what we're doing in class, and if you can, make sure you do go out for a laugh or a beer after class and take the weight off, because it can be quite heavy at times. But like that, when you're in a good environment, and like I said, I've learned so much from people like Hannah and our other students, not just because of their global perspective, but because they're nice people and they have a positive attitude, and that's outside the classroom. Looking after yourself is important too, but it's not always easy and happy and all happy. It's a tough world out there. So
Yeah, we're now 6 months in, and if I look back, I can be very positive about it. I think throughout the months there were also a lot of things that came up that I struggled with. I studied before this in the Netherlands, and in the Netherlands everything is almost over-organized in a way that my calendar, like if you wanted to meet me, talked like maybe in 2 months. My schedule was set for like 5 months, and there was very little wiggle room in a way. And in the beginning, I very much struggled coming to Greece, not knowing sometimes how my schedule would look the week after, or sometimes the day after even. So in the beginning, that was very much a struggle, and I sometimes felt unproductive because of it, because I didn't have a clear structure, or I wasn't aware of what was going to happen. And at some point I kind of started to learn how there's also very much positive things that I can say about the more relaxed way the program functions. There is much more space for spontaneity.
Spontaneity, yeah.
That word. And for just things to come up, and there's a lot of opportunities that I've gotten because of it.
What was the thing that you liked most about Thessaloniki? Now that you mentioned multiple times that you do go out. Do you go out with your professors maybe, your classmates? What do you do?
For me, I have always just felt like a warmness from the people in general. It's a very historic city with lots of different things to do. There always seems to be something going on, but there's just a kindness to people, kind of in the smaller moments. I've noticed it. In the neighbourhood that I am, I like going for a coffee and kind of observing people or watching people, and I've just found people to be very kind, and I know it's not always easy to be so kind in today's world, but just a general kind of warmth in the smaller moments from people. But I think when I look back on this year, it's not always the big things you'll remember. It's the smaller moments. It's the different situations at a coffee shop, or it's not always the things you'll think you'll remember that you actually do. So for me, it's the warmth of the people, I would say.
Amazing.
For me, it's also that too, but also how lively the city is, and that I can walk home at 2 a.m. over Egnatia, and that it feels like it's just 8 p.m. because it's so busy and it's still so much is still going on. That is sometimes different than living in a place where at 6 all the stores close and it's evening and everyone just crawls inside. Probably has also to do with the climate, that it's just much better weather here. But yeah, that's something that I just love, and it brings a certain vibe and it brings a certain social life with it that I very much appreciate.
What about the bads? What's something that you would just want to get out of your mind about Thessaloniki? I mean, we do have the subway now, but there must be some things that you don't like about Thessaloniki.
I'm currently struggling a little bit with the air quality. Yeah, there's just a lot of cars in the city. Yeah, that's just something that I noticed that my lungs are not fully used to that. And that's just something that, just you gotta take it as it is. But luckily there's a lot of nature around Thessaloniki that it's easy to reach, so that kind of balances it out. You can just easily get out.
For me, it's not a criticism as such, but that kind of busy nature that Hannah was talking about, the way there's always something going on, can have a downside as well. You know, it can feel sometimes you need to get a quieter space and calm down for a while. So it's great to have options of things to do, but it's important to kind of take a step back as well. But I guess that's more of a personal thing rather than a reflection on the city. But to be honest, I'm hesitant to criticise the city too much. Like, genuinely, it's been, you know, good to us, I think, and you know, we feel lucky to be here and everything. So I'm always hesitant to criticise the weather recently, maybe. But it's going
the weather for like the past 2 weeks, but normally we have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, it's been an agony for us too, believe me. You mentioned about trips going outside of Thessaloniki. We are a relatively small country, so the commutes are not the best ones, but do you go out of the city? Have you seen other places near Thessaloniki maybe?
Yeah, we do try to get out as much as possible, I think, during the weekends. Simply because Greece is a beautiful country and there's so much to explore. And we also we have a very international friend group, so we're all kind of like, we want to make use of being in Greece and travel around. So I think we went to the mountains, to Veria, and we're going to Kozani next week. We go to the beach, Piraeus and Chalkidiki once in a while. But also coming from the Netherlands, there's a lot of European cities that I have visited, but I haven't really explored Eastern Europe. So for me, it's very much a plus, the connection that Greece has to the Balkans, for example. That's just a part of Europe that I haven't explored that much, and I love traveling. So for me, it was a big plus also that you can just take a bus to Sofia and you're there in 5 hours. That's just great. Or to Turkey, I took a bus and Istanbul is 8 hours, 9 hours away. Okay. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I would echo that, and I think as the year is kind of closing in on us, we're trying to see a bit more of the country, and as well maybe the kind of smaller places or the places we haven't maybe aren't world famous, but I think it's important for us to see, you know, what life is like in kind of smaller villages in Greece, as well as the kind of Athens and Thessaloniki. And with that, a lot of our classmates have told us about their hometown, and whilst it's not easy always to like advertise your hometown when you have a relationship to it, for someone coming from the outside, it's interesting to see how life moves at a different pace in different places. So I think before the end of the year we'll try and get out as much as we can, but it's a beautiful country from our perspective so far, that's for sure.
Yes. That would be my next question. Do you plan on visiting other places, maybe further away, maybe any islands perhaps, the summer?
I'm staying the summer here, most of the summer, not the entirety. I'm escaping the heat at the end of August. But I'm staying for most of the summer, and I got invited to friends in Kalamata, and I might also go to Crete because I've heard that I really have to go. So yeah, there's stuff. Yes, I've heard. I keep asking people, where should I visit, and everyone always says Crete. Yeah. So I think I'm going there, and I'm also planning on, from the moment that you can hike up to Mount Olympus again in summer, I'm definitely doing that one too. So yes, I want to see more. Now it's mainly weekend trips, so it's more close by, but there's much more to explore, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I would echo everything Hannah said there. I'm still figuring out how far into the summer I'll stay, but I would definitely like to see some of the mountains that we're surrounded by as well, more up close, and kind of take every opportunity that we have to go and see somewhere different. So absolutely looking forward to the next few months and weeks.
Okay, so we have to close this. Anything lesser that you want to add? Something, maybe a quote?
I don't have a quote, but I would just like to thank you all again for this opportunity, and thank everyone working in the school and all the Greek students and the international students for being so welcoming, and I wish the best of luck to anybody coming in the years after us, I would say.
Yeah, I very much agree with that, and I encourage people to just take the city as it is and experience it for themselves, because I think it's a very flexible city that you can just experience kind of the way you want.
Thank you very much, guys, for being here, and best luck to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
What you waiting